Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness, we get to see your faces this time. I'm so excited. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Give Butter webinar, Call, Connect, and Celebrate Donor Appreciation Power Hour. That is quite the title, but it is quite the session today. I'm so excited to have you all here. As you can see, we're doing things a little differently this month. So first of all, we're in meeting mode instead of presentation mode. So that's exciting. That in and of itself, where I can see your wonderful faces. And we encourage you to keep cameras on if you're able. Okay, I know you doesn't always allow, but if you're able to, we would love to see your faces. But also, friends, today's session has a live activity. So get your lemon tea out, warm up those vocal cords, okay? Because we're going to be connecting with amazing donors today, your incredible supporter community. So this is going to be fun. Get ready. I think we all needed a little midweek boost. I don't know, at least I did. So I'm really excited. But before we dive in, let's get to know each other. Please drop in the chat, keep dropping in the chat your name, your organization, where you're zooming in from. We definitely want to hear from you and welcome you to the group. So come on in that chat. We want to see it. Who do we have? Hey, Claudia. We're going to get to our intros here in just a second. But listen, Claudia, of course I have Claudia with me. How could I not? Claudia's here. Brooke is here. We're going to do all the intros in just a second. But oh my gosh, here we go. Diane, welcome. Love that. From Michigan. Diane, me too. I love to see it. Jody, Karen, Kelsey. Oh my goodness, so many people. I can't even read everybody's name. It keeps scrolling. Nicole, welcome. Christy, Joe, Emma from Ohio. Hey, next door neighbor. Joe, this says a new missionary with heading from West Virginia to Africa, South Africa. Oh my gosh, we're continental here, friends. That's amazing. Please keep it coming. We want to just keep welcoming everyone to the Zoom room. We're so excited. But let's go ahead and start our intros too, so you know who you're speaking with here on the Give Butter side. My name is Stephanie, your Give Butter webinar host, and I'm zooming in from the beautiful state of Michigan. It is gorgeous here today. I am feeling the spring energy. I'm here for it. And of course, I'm not here alone. I have, I wouldn't do a meeting mode without my partner in butter, Claudia, the amazing superstar Claudia, who you already may have met. Claudia, let's hear from you, my friend.
Hello, my friends. I am pumped for today's webinar. I love that it's meeting style. I love being able to see all of your faces and be able to engage with you in a more meaningful way. I am the customer education manager. You may have seen me in office hours, Give Butter Academy. And I want to call out my little fun fact here. Joe, I've been to Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe because I was studying abroad in South Africa. Cape Town is such a beautiful city. I'm actually headed back next year, fingers crossed. So really happy and excited to be here today.
Amazing, Claudia. I love having you in this Zoom room with me. We go way back when we do live, doing live. So this is just par for the course for us. But thank you so much. And of course, superstar Brooke, always running everything behind the scenes. Okay, you can see Brooke now live here as well. This is just a little party. Hey, Brooke, thank you so much for all that you do. As our friends continue to join us, let's go ahead and review some housekeeping reminders. But real quick, hey, Faith from Idaho, amazing. Edwin, welcome from Illinois. We've got a lot of Midwest representing, and I am happy. I am here for that. Tim, welcome from the Big Apple. Great to have you. So as we're thinking about our housekeeping, we just want to keep a few things in mind. The recordings and the slides will be emailed to you after the webinar, all set there. Also, just keep in mind that you are on camera. So of course, as it makes sense, there might be some recording of you on there just for other folks that are in the room. Just keep that in mind. Please use the Q&A chat to ask questions if they do come up. But of course, really just keep the main chat rocking, versus like a typical Q&A. We're here for discussion and collaboration. So keep that chat rocking. Comments and emojis are very welcome. And of course, just in that chat, just be sure to remind, just as a reminder, to stay respectful and kind. You always do. We never worry about that. So with that, Claudia, I'm going to throw it back to you to kind of talk a little bit more about Give Butter.
Yeah, so I want to welcome all change makers. both new and well acquainted to our webinar here. As a friendly reminder here, what Give Better is. This is going to be an all-in-one fundraising platform that's built for modern nonprofits. So those of you who want to raise more and stress less. So we have everything from donation forms to fundraising events to a built-in donor management software, as well as marketing tools here for your organization. And most importantly, let's not forget we have a seamless payment processing option here. So your supporters can give with Google Pay, Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal, DAF donations, many options here to appeal to all donor types. So everything you need to manage your nonprofit in just one tab. And as a fundraiser myself, it is such a relief. So it's an intuitive way to help you turn your passion, your mission into progress here. And so we're so excited to have you all here with us today in this webinar. Together, we can do good and go farther with Give Better.
I love it. Claudia, you're so right. Absolutely. Empowering change makers one by one, or, thousands by thousands. And we are grateful to be part of this Give Better journey with you, friends. So, okay, let's dive into today's session, friends, a magical power hour. What are we up to today? So we are going to have a quick chat with some tips on making calls to our donors, then provide you the supported space to get on the phone and actually connect with your community. And bonus, we're giving you a freebie to help. You know, we love our freebies. You know, our marketing team is incredible, always creating these freebies for you. We have some easy peasy call scripts that can give you an extra boost of confidence when hopping on the phone and keeping you organized and focused. So there's that QR code. Go ahead, scan it, and then you can go ahead and download the script templates to help you on your little journey today and moving forward. Quick note on scripts. Scripts are simply guidelines. You don't have to follow them to a T, but incorporating some of the prompts and the language can be helpful as you're determining the type of calls to make and what to say when you're in conversation with a donor as well. So, what goes into a conversation with a supporter? In any call you give, whether it's simply a thank you call, maybe it's a relationship building call, maybe a reconnect, maybe it's a solicitation call where you're asking for someone to buy a ticket or make a donation, there are three major elements that we can focus on. So let's dive into the first one, which is, of course, presenting your presence, introducing yourself. Hi, my name is Stephanie Barnhill, and I am the executive director of Brighton Humane Society, right? Who are ya? We all have these concerns, people don't want to hear from us. Well, they do if it's, if it's a qualitative and a wonderful connection point, right? But they got to know who you are. They want to trust you. So make sure to very clearly and slowly, don't just, hi, I'm Stephanie, I want to, really slow it down, say who you are, make sure that they know who that conversation that they're having, who it's with. And if you're leaving a voicemail, same thing. Next, make sure that you are saying gratitude, saying thank you. So this is always, no matter what kind of call you make, you always want to start right out with thanking them for their support, thanking them for their volunteer work, thanking them for joining you at your event, whatever it may be. Make sure to thank them right away because you wouldn't be on the phone with them if they didn't contribute in some way, right? And the last piece, which is really thinking through the meaning of this call. So this is where kind of depends on what the call is that you're making, right? So it's going to kind of depend on that. But this is where you're either going to further want to engage the donor, whether it's to thank them more, learn about kind of what their engagement looks like, what made them, what prompted them to give or support you, or maybe you're asking for more support. So that's kind of the three piece. So introduce yourself, thank them, and then kind of get to the meat of the call. What's the focus there? So depending a little bit, just one final note, depending on that, if it's a thank you call, then you're going to present your presence, thank them. So that second piece really is the biggest piece of it, right? That's you're really thanking them. Thank you so much for your recent donation to our our beautiful campaign, whatever campaign that's called. We are so grateful to have your support. It means so much to us. With your donation, we were able to, right, talk about what that was able to do, that gift, make sure that they feel that it really truly is appreciated and acknowledged. And then if you would like, you can continue that conversation to say something like, we would love to know what inspired you to give. I see that you've been donating for 5 years, Bob. Oh my goodness gracious. Tell me more about why you continue to support our organization. So make that continued call. And if it's more than a thank you call, if you're really calling to solicit, first thank them, but then you're really going to focus on that final piece, right? Which is, we have this amazing event coming up, the event you attended last year, our beautiful gala, whatever that may be. So wherever that really kind of falls in line, just make sure that it's really, kind of specific to what it is that you're asking. Make sure that that ask, as Claudia always says, make that ask bold. Make sure that they know what you're asking for. Make sure that they understand why you're asking them. Maybe they gave before, maybe they've attended previously, and always wrap up the call, of course, with thanking them again. So just a few things to think about. This is going to be, kind of spelled out for you in those templates, but it's just something to kind of think about when you're on the call. All right, friends, are we ready to make some calls? I'm super excited. Let's keep a few things in mind here. One, document your calls. Okay, so when you pick up the phone, whether you leave a voicemail or you make a call live, be sure to log a note or a call in the contact record of your GiveButter dashboard. This makes sure that you and your team know that you reached out and possibly made a connection. Add any relevant notes from that call that will be helpful for you moving forward. Set a stretch goal. That might be a number of calls, or maybe you have a meaningful conversation with a donor. Maybe you want to receive a donation on a call. So whatever that goal is that you have, it could be anything. Just make sure that it is acknowledged within yourself. Maybe you have it in front of you. And of course, a little quick tip here, a goal doesn't have to just be for today's session when you start getting on the call here in just a second. I always recommend having blocks of time in your calendar for connecting with your donors. That might look like every Friday you have that from 9 to 10 booked to make those donor calls. Or maybe it's a monthly check-in, or maybe it's post-campaign you have that block so you can start calling to thank donors, or maybe to invite donors once you've launched your next event campaign, right? So however it makes sense to you, get it on the calendar and prioritize that, because this relationship building piece and gratitude piece is absolutely vital in, of course, not only fundraising, but nurturing the supportive actions of your donors moving forward, which is the really big important piece here. And please, please chat it up with us. Drop your success moments and the tips in the chat so we can all share in your wisdom and celebrate your wins with you. So please light up that chat. As we dive into outreach, we've got a fun, interactive way to track how things are going with your calls as well. Go ahead on this next slide here, go ahead and scan that QR code there and select I'm just getting started to kick things off. As you make progress, maybe you leave a voicemail, you score a connection, or you're still mid-call, just pop back into the poll and edit your response to reflect where you're at. It's super easy, it's one click, and that way we can all kind of track our success together. We will leave the screen up throughout our call time so we can keep track and make sure that we are making some really good progress on your goals. Claudia and I will be here for you, and Brooke, of course, the entire time with cameras on and some soft music playing in the background. You can stay on mute when making your calls, but please light that chat up because we do want to hear how it's going. And with that, my friends, we are ready to get started. So go ahead and bring up a donor list, whatever list that might be of interest to you. Maybe it's donors from the previous week or previous from the month, or maybe you're ready to start calling folks that for an event that you have coming up, or maybe an event you just had. Go ahead and bring up those donors, start making those calls, and let us know how it's going. We are here for you, team. For those of you who have just recently joined, just so you know, we are taking a little time here to make some calls to our donors. So go ahead and you've got our support here. So go ahead and take some time and get on the call. Okay, I just have to come off mute really quick to say, Martha just got a pledge for $5,000. Hey, way to go, Martha. That is incredible. Thank you for sharing. I just have to come off mute really quick to say, Martha just got a pledge for $5,000. Hey, way to go, Martha. That is incredible. Thank you for sharing.
Such a great job. I love seeing you on the phone here. Just a little tidbit here. As you are, I see a lot of us are getting voicemails, scoring a connection, which is great. When you are in a meeting, having those conversations with your donors, even if you're using the script, make sure that it feels heartfelt. Make sure that it feels honest and it's coming from you. You want to definitely forge that connection and not have it feel forced. Because if you're just reading from a script, you're just repeating some other person's words. What do you need? What is that motivation? What is your organization's mission mean to you? So speak from the heart, my friends, and you've got this. Also, little toasty tip, as you are going through these phone calls, be sure that you're jotting down this communication in their contact record. Keep some key details of things they've mentioned, programs they like, donation amounts they're willing to give in the future. Jot that down in their contact profile and give it to me.
little shout out to Amanda. Okay, she had a great chat with a lapsed donor with an expired card. They're jumping back in and re-upping their donation tonight. That is amazing. And another great reason to make calls. You can call your recurring donors to maybe consider upping their gift this year in a new year. Or of course, if there are any issues with their information, the credit card expiring, anything like that, what a great time to call and remake that connection. Congrats, Amanda. That's huge. Chime in here. Don't be discouraged if you get a voicemail. Most of the time, you're going to get a voicemail. That's just because people are busy, they're working, they're doing other things, or maybe they don't recognize the number, so they're going to let it go to voicemail. That's okay. It's totally fine. But don't let that get away from you because it's still a great time to connect. Make sure that you still do the introduction, that you thank them for their support, and invite them to call you back. Say, hey, I would love to chat with you. Let's connect. Here's my number. Please give me a call. I look forward to making that connection. So just make sure that you're still utilizing those voicemails and Don't be discouraged. It's pretty typical. It's average. I know that some of you are still on the phone, and we love that. Please keep it going. Don't let us disturb. If you are in the middle of a great conversation, keep it going, my friends. But we want to hear from you. For those who aren't on calls, we'd love to hear from a couple of you who would like to maybe come off mute and tell us a little bit about what that experience was like for you. How did it go? How are you feeling? Were you nervous? Were you not? Were you confident? How do you feel now? So, do we have any volunteers, any brave volunteers to come off mute? I know it's nerve-wracking. I know we just got off calls. Now we're asking for public speaking. Joe, did you come off mute?
Yeah, real fast.
Hey.
I'm a liar though, so I I actually don't have any donors yet. Like I literally just did our missions orientation last month, and then my wife went to Kenya for 3 weeks for a different thing. So we haven't really started our fundraising process yet. So I was calling people, just going down the list, and folks I haven't talked to in a while to just give general updates. By the way, I'm a missionary now. Um, so it wasn't really donor appreciation. It was more like, how are you? What are you doing? Um, just catching up with people. So, but it was really good to have the pressure to call. I caught up with an old friend from high school, and he's going to check out our website and see what he and his wife might want to donate. So,
Joe, that is amazing. First of all, can we give a round of applause for Joe? First of all, for coming off mute, which is very brave, but also for what a great use of your time, you know? And some of you else might be in that position where you're like, oh, I wasn't sure who to call or I'm not there yet. And that's okay. Joe, you made a great use of that time by connecting with people who you want to kind of share about this next chapter of your life with and bring them into your mission and the work that you do. So way to go. I'm so glad this was a helpful and productive session for you. No matter where you are in your nonprofit stage, if you're just beginning or you're just getting started or you've been doing this 100 years, either way, these calls can be so helpful for your goals and connections. Anyone else want to come off mute?
I will. Hi.
Hi, Marissa. Thank you so much. Tell us, how did it go?
It went good. And honestly, I need a power hour like this every day to give me that like pressure, like to call. And I'm not a shy person, like by any means, but I do get nervous like when I'm about to call. Like I would literally rather speak in front of 1,000 people, like on a stage, than like make a call. Because it's that individual connection instead of being in front of a crowd. So, anyways, but I called one person and I got him, and I've never talked to him before, and I've called before. So that was like really good. And then I just thanked him so much for giving in the past. And he was like, I'm sorry, I'm with my mom right now. She just had a medical emergency a few days ago. And I was like, oh, well, can you give me her name and I'll pray for her? So like kind of make that connection that way. So that hopefully, like opens a door for next time. And then also I called somebody else and left a voicemail, but like because of the script, it said like send an email of like to follow up and to like make an ask on the voicemail. I've never done that. So I made an ask on the voicemail, and then like we do have a campaign like tomorrow. So I was like, I'll send you the link like to the campaign, and I did that. And so it got me out of my comfort zone for sure.
Oh my gosh, Marissa, there's so much to congratulate you on there. First of all, just making the calls. Like, I mean, raise your hand if I can see you, or put it in the chat. Who gets nervous about this? Myself included. I do. I did it for a living too. And I'm still nervous when I have to do it, right? And I love talking to people, as evidenced by this webinar, but it is different. You're right, Marissa, when you're making that one-on-one connection, right? And there's also, I guess, I think sometimes this feeling of, I don't want to disturb anyone. I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want to ask somebody for help, right? Or for support. But I'm so glad that you did it and that you were able to reconnect with the donor, especially in such a time of need. Can you imagine, like, everybody for a moment, what that must have felt like to that donor to, first of all, be personally called and thanked for support, and then also to be like supported emotionally when they're going through a hard moment? Like, that must have just made his day, Marissa. So way to go. And the bravery of making an ask on when leaving a voicemail. Way to go. And definitely, Marissa brings up a great point. Always follow up with that with an email. Always. Hey, sorry I missed you. Just wanted to make sure you heard from me. Thank you so much. Or, hey, I know I shared about this in my voicemail. Here's that link. So, Marissa, great job. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so glad you were here and shared some of your wisdom with us. Do we have time
And
for one?
Marissa, I wanna double down on that with the snaps and the claps, because I think we sometimes have this disconnect with our donors. We think of them as individuals who just support our cause, and we kind of forget that they have other things going on in their life. We may not know why they may have been a lapsed donor, why they may have canceled their recurring plans. This is where you think about how you can build that relationship, even if it's not a monetary ask. I think you offering support, the prayer is just beyond. It's heartwarming, it's personal, and in the future, maybe that individual will say, I can't financially support right now, but I want to support this organization in one way or another. Maybe I'll volunteer. Maybe I'll do phone banking for them. You may not realize it, but I think you just forged a very powerful connection with that donor, even if you didn't receive anything in return of that conversation. So I think this serves as a brilliant example for other people. Even if you don't have that particular ask, you can catch up. You can see how they're doing.
I love that. I literally spoke with a nonprofit earlier today who received a sizable donation from someone who used to give many years ago. So she called and thanked them and sent them an email follow-up, and then they donated again like immediately. So that does happen too, because they're like, oh gosh, I'm part of this mission. They see that I'm acknowledging the value that I bring, the support that I give. So always good to follow up and to give your gratitude no matter what, so that's always nice. We have time for one more. Would one other person like to come off mute and share about your experience? Tanya, hello. Yes.
Hi. Yeah, I'm here from the Watershed Project. We've just been launching our monthly giving campaign, so it's been going a little bit slow. But so anyway, I didn't make many calls. We're just getting started. I don't really have numbers yet, but all the templates and the call scripts and the templates and the marketing plan, so helpful. Thank you. And just being on the call and seeing, being on the webinar and seeing what everybody else is doing and hearing about it. I mean, leaving a ask on a voicemail, good work.
Right? I love that. And Tanya, you bring up such a great point too. It's like sometimes you're, not in a space, to make calls right away, or you don't have the list quite yet, or like you're just kind of early, you're still in your planning phase, right? And that's okay. Having the resources and the tools to help you when you are ready and when you're kind of getting in that planning and preparatory kind of phase of the campaign, that's just as important to make sure that you're ready. So I'm so glad, Tanya, that this was helpful for you. And I hear you. Kind of having the support of everybody and the encouragement from a team is really amazing, right?
And we have our fundraising marketing meeting later on this afternoon, so I'm going to share everything. We have one of the people is a board member, and two board members, and our executive director and another colleague. So get them calling.
I love that. Great point. Great point. In fact, just remember that you're not a solo person, even if you are solo on your team. It's there's an effort there by others that can support you, right?
Less than solo. I'm the development person. I'm less than half time.
Listen, Tanya, you are not alone, friend. You are not alone. And that's what's so great. We can bring others into the calls and the thank yous, right? Board members, volunteers and things like that, folks that are also engaged in your mission that want to help. And honestly, I've seen a lot of organizations have call parties, thank you parties, call parties, where it's okay, we're going to get a bunch of pizza, we're going to get some cookies, and everybody's going to be in the same space, making those calls, thinking. It's really beyond the importance of the calls themselves, it's a really nice bonding experience for your volunteers and your team. It's a wonderful way to bring your board further into your mission and engage them further, right? So there's a lot of benefits outside of the calls themselves, although that in and of itself is very important. So great points, Tanya. Thank you so much for sharing about that. And everyone, just keep in mind that this is just the beginning, right? I know it's so helpful and inspiring to have everybody's, love and encouragement and support, but keep the momentum going. Continue to make those calls, continue engaging with your supporters. Trust me, as evidenced by today, they want to hear from you. They really, really do. Some more than others. Some will be like, okay, thanks. And they're okay with it. They're done. Others want to have a conversation. They want to learn more about your programs. They want to learn how they can help. They want to know that the gift and the support that they've given has truly made a difference to help you realize your vision, right? So they do want to hear from you. And it's a vital part of relationship building to make sure that folks are acknowledged and that you're building and growing those relationships. It's the very foundation of fundraising, right? We know that, but when it comes down to making those calls and actually doing that work to build those relationships, it can feel a little, I don't know, intimidating, a little awkward sometimes until we get in a good rhythm. So keep it going, Congratulations, everybody, in the success that you had today, whether you made 1 call or 0 calls and did planning or made 100 calls. Like, no matter what, this was a success. But before we wrap up, I'm going to pass it over to my partner in Better, Claudia, to give us some important reminders before we wrap up.
Yeah, so I see some familiar names here, which is fantastic. I saw some familiar names. I know a couple of people hopped off here, but I do want to let you know that if you ever need some product support, maybe talk through some best practices, we do have Give Butter office hours our academy for you. If you wouldn't mind switching to the next slide for us so everyone can skip, there we are. You are more than welcome to join us. Even if you can't make it live, you can always receive the recording here. And I really do want to reinforce that Give Butter community. I loved seeing you all cheer each other on. When Steph was like, let's give a round of applause for Marissa, I saw all of you just raving. And that's really what fundraising community is about. I want you all to continue engaging your Give Butter fam. So we have a community forum that you can use. It's linked to our Give Butter Academy. You can ask questions. You can share your own feedback with other change makers here. Now, we would love to hear your feedback about this webinar. This is a completely different format that we've done here. We would love to know if this is more of the type of webinars that you'd like to join in, if maybe you're looking for more thought leadership, and if there are any particular topics, let us know. We want to make sure that we are always providing the most relevant and useful information as you are working on that fundraising journey here. So again, thank you all so much for joining us for today's Power Hour. We definitely hope to have these in the future, and hopefully, Marissa, we'll see you in almost all of them coming up. We hope you have a great day. I don't know, Steph, you had any other closing thoughts here before we end our webinar?
You know what, Claudia, you wrapped us up beautifully, my friend. Thank you. Thank you all again so much. It was, you put some energy and pep in my day, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for all the supporters and donors that you reached out to today that now feel closer to you and closer to your mission. So congratulations. We'll see you next month, friends. Keep it up. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.